Go.
Hello, Fight Insight fans. How's everybody doing today? It's you know what? We've got another great episode. Today we've got a very special guest.
Oh,
Tim, let's hear it. Who do we have? Who do we
I,
have?
yeah, I'm so excited for this, guys. Let me go into the introduction. We have with us today Mr. Mark Bowden. Mark Bowden has been voted the #1 body language professional in the world for 2 years running. So yes, now is the time to sit up straight. Even if you're sitting at home, sit up straight. Mark is a founder of communications training company Truthplane, whose clients include leading business people, politicians, presidents of Fortune 500 companies, and prime ministers of G7 nations. His highly acclaimed Tedx talk and award-winning YouTube show, The Behavior Panel, has reached over 20 million viewers, and he is regularly called upon by the media to comment on body language around elections, news, and human behavior, including on the Dr. Phil show. Mark has written 4 books on body language and behavior, the most recent being Truth and Lies, What People Are Really Thinking, which quickly became a Globe and Mail Canadian bestseller. In case it's not yet clear, he's one of the world's foremost authorities on nonverbal communication. He's even training the folks at Zoom to better communicate on Zoom. So we are extremely thrilled to have him here with us today. Please welcome Mr. Mark Bowden.
Thank you.
Mark.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Tim.
Oh my
Thanks,
goodness.
Prince. Great introduction. And
Hey, Mark.
I appreciate you having me here. Thanks for having me on board. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. You know, Prince, I've been following Mark for, I don't know, 7 years ago was your TEDx talk?
Yeah. It's a while ago now. So thanks for following me for that long.
Yeah, like I know, you go down those TEDx rabbit holes and you start finding different things, and yours really stood out to me. So it was fantastic.
Perfect.
Well, Mark, I just want to say something because you know what? I actually, when Tim told me about you, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure who Mark is. So I started, Googling you and checking you on YouTube, and oh man, the first one that popped up, Mark, listen. Wow, you had me. I was zoned in, and even your presence right now, I can say you're in the friend category.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. You like that?
You've been paying attention.
Yeah. No, and for people, we will leave the links for a few of Mark's sites, his website, as well as his LinkedIn profile. I'm telling you, follow his stuff. He's got some great things, great videos that really help you present better. Right, Mark? I mean, that's all it's about.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to people and say, really, what it's about is how do you stand out? How do you win trust? How do you gain credibility every time you communicate using your own body language to influence and persuade people? And my guess is for anybody who's interested in that fight world, you're seeing contenders communicate all the time, whether it's to other contenders, whether it's to the media, whether it's to the fans out there. It's a continual cycle of communication. And I think another important area is how they're communicating to themselves using their own body language. And so it's great to be here to kind of talk around this particular sport and how body language has so much to do with performance, essentially.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mark. And like leading right into that's the perfect segue, because what we did want to talk to you about was about that body language that fighters do when they're in that face-off, especially, right? And it can be the pre-fight face-off when they're, doing the weigh-ins and the ceremonial stuff, but even when they're just right in the ring together or the cage together and they're standing there. And oftentimes, I mean, I am well known for being about 90% wrong in my fight picks. But
Mark, it's true. And trust me, I've my record is clean, pure knockouts. I'm what am I 3-0 now? I think I'm 3-0. 3-0. There you go.
So and Mark, but I often try to look at those, right? I look at the face-offs and I go, okay, I can see how this guy's doing this, and that's not a good sign, right? So I wanted to show you some pictures, and Prince and I are going to show you a couple pictures, and we'll talk about it. Also, because we know that a lot of the people that watch us are martial arts practitioners. Some of them are aspiring to be fighters, perhaps even just in an in-house show, but maybe they're going to be amateur, maybe looking to become professional. The last guest that we had on was actually a Canadian Muay Thai fighter, a young professional who's just about to turn pro, Preston. And so I think even some of those people may want to hear from you because they'll say, hey, when I go up there, I don't want to do something that gives off the wrong tone, or, maybe I should be careful myself. So we'll start it off. Normally people go up and they're like this.
Yeah.
Right. They just go up together like that. And that's the classic.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Prince
will
be.
Mark, I'm sorry. I'm the very interactive type, so I know we'll have pictures up, but I want you. I need you. We're gonna have some stare downs. I'm gonna give you some examples. I want you. I want your natural reaction. Okay, bud? It's a natural reaction. Okay, I'm putting you on this part. I'm sorry, Mark, but this needs to happen for our fans out there. Let's go ahead, Mark. Tim, let's go.
All right. So the first one I want to show you, Mark, is where the one guy has his hands up, but the other guy has his hands down.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
What I see that a lot. What do you make of that?
Yeah. So from a media point of view, and let's just say, look, the only reason they're primarily doing this is because the media are going to be able to get a picture of this and use that image to promote the fight and maybe promote fighters. My issue with this is look how it's shadowing the face. Look how you can't get into the face so well. And ultimately, what people love, I think, about this sport and a fight is it's two human beings. It comes down to two human beings, which are complex entities. That's why it's hard to call a fight just on, okay, what was the face-off like? I mean, if it were that easy, there'd be no sport.
I'd be better than 90% wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So look, I think the problem with this is the audience can't get a really good image of it. If I were going to do anything, I'd want to come down with that, okay, so that the audience can get to see the face and the hands as well, because audiences' brains love to see the hands, but they really want to get entry into the face. They want to see the eyes. They want to see, is there fear in the eyes? Is there pleasure in the eyes? Are the eyes clearly targeted? Do they have a target? Yeah. What I like about the hands down by the side is, and you'll know this yourselves from watching the sport, and anybody who's an athlete out there will know this as well. When people get properly aggressive, I mean like aggressive like on the street, and you go, okay, there's going to be some trouble here. What you see is their center of gravity drop. Yeah. And often you will see the hands go down, not up. Often if the hands are up, it's really just bravado. It's really just saying, hey, I think I'm big, and they're trying to make this the target because this is no problem. Yeah, where you don't want to get caught out on is around the stomach area, around the face area. You do not want your center of gravity controlled. You do not want your joints controlled. Okay, so displays up here often are full of bravado, but when somebody is seriously aggressive, you'll see the whole body drop. Okay, so what I like about the hands dropped and the center of gravity dropped is it's truer to a more kind of, let's just say, primal aggression. And I think that's what we like about that.
Nice.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah. You said something though about the eyes and about the face. What about this one, Prince?
Okay, wait. Before you show the picture, we don't need the picture. We're gonna go live.
Okay.
On. So you, Mark, okay, you and I square up. We're ready.
Yeah,
we're ready to go square up. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, man, that's not the type of reaction I wanted from you. Like, this a killer instinct. You're supposed to be petrified. Like this shit. Look at it.
Doesn't have the killer instinct for me. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Here's what's happening there. And actually, you gave me a nice one. That's a true Duchenne smile in that you've got the little wrinkles here. Okay, and you've got the sides of the mouth going up, but you're showing the teeth, which is actually often a display of fear. Often people will smile in order to show compliance, in order to show, I'm going to be no problem. I'm going to be a nice guy. It's going to be okay. They think they're smiling because they're going, hey, this is going to be fun for me. Often, from my point of view, it's a signal of potential fear, compliance, and the lowering of status. Now, that's not to say in general, if you go around smiling, you're lowering your status. That's not true. But in a position where there is extreme risk and extreme risk from another human being, smiling is often a signal of compliance. So it's not one that I would want to go for much.
Wow. So you know what? That's crazy, because actually when the recent Conor McGregor versus Khabib fight, that was something that the cameras caught. If you know, they caught where Conor McGregor at the end of one round, when he was getting beaten up, he said to Khabib, "Hey buddy, this is just business. This is just business." And it was almost like he was trying to play it off, similar to what you're saying, Mark. Like he was almost making it jovial in a way, but that was, he was taking a beating. So that would make sense from what you're saying.
Right. Essentially trying to involve the other person in a new idea about the sport.
Right.
Okay? My understanding would be, and maybe I've got it wrong, the idea of the sport is to subdue the other person.
Yeah.
is to defeat them.
Yeah.
And that isn't business. In business, what you do is you try and work with each other in order to elevate the community,
right?
Okay, elevate the whole group. That's not what happens in the person to person moment. I know it can happen in the sport, in the community of going, hey, let's elevate the sport together. But ultimately, people want to see the human to human fight go on. That's the moment for them.
Tim, Mark, I'll let you know right now the reason why I had that that frayed look, and that Mark, you got to bang on. The reason why I was petrified is because, Mark, you are the close celebrity we have on this bad boy. You came on, and I go, oh,
it was the nerves.
The nerves. I'm like, oh man, I saw your stuff at Tedx, and I was like, oh my gosh, like we've got this guy coming in. He's a professional. He's spoken to all these head of state, prime ministers, and all this. And man, I'm like, and I'm gonna smile at this guy, and I guess that's the first smile I produced.
Absolutely. And that's often the case for when you're in front of somebody who you believe has more power than you, has more status. You might often smile, and the smile we might see shows a little more teeth in it as well. Because the expression of fear, you got it quite well there, Prince. That expression of fear,
very skilled at it.
Pain to it. So what I want you to do is watch out next time you're looking at a face-off, and you can go through it frame by frame. If you catch a smile, just go through it frame by frame and just go, is there a moment where I sense fear? And if there is, that doesn't mean somebody's going to lose. It doesn't mean they're going to win.
Right.
But as part of your intelligence system that you might take from in order to go, what do I predict? You might want to include that piece of information in your system of prediction, along with what are the stats of this fighter? What's the stats of the opponent? I mean, it's like playing poker. You can't really win unless you're really good at math. Okay. Yeah. But once you've got good at the math, then you might want to look at other signals as well that are going on. And that's what body language can do for people. If you're a fighter, if you're a contender, if you're an athlete, or if you love watching that, nonverbal communication is a great area to get extra information from.
Now, in your videos, you talk when you're explaining to people how to better use their body language to communicate and how you can understand whether someone is engaging with you. You do talk about this next thing, which I wanted to show, which is when someone mirrors the other person. Yeah. And you've talked about this in your videos when it comes to engaging with people and talking in interviews. But what about when two fighters do it? So here's a photo.
Yeah, nice.
And what I do notice when that happens is it will come across where someone does something, and the other guy, who doesn't look like he was going to do that, then copies the same movement. Mm-hmm. What would that indicate to you?
Okay, so we're social mammals, essentially. And as social mammals, we have realized that if you work together as groups, as teams, you overcome the person who's working as the individual. Us three with a bad idea will beat the one person with a good idea. On average, okay? Because we'll build it faster, we'll realize it was terrible, we'll come up with another idea, whereas the person with no friends hasn't even got anything built yet, okay? So we are designed to mirror each other. And as a whole, we're designed to mirror the strongest, clearest signal in the room. So whoever is doing something copyable, we're designed to copy that, and we're designed to copy whoever we feel has the most status, the most power, who commands the biggest amount of valuable resource. So here's what I'd want to know from that photograph there. I would be saying to you, great, I'm interested in this. Who copied who?
Right,
Okay?
right.
That's the interesting thing. Who moved first? And then I want to see whether do I see this person look down first of all before they copy, or does it just seem to flow and happen? Does it just seem to be really kind of beautiful mirroring? Because now I'm going to go, one person here is perceived as having more power than the other by the other. And again, does that mean that one's going to win and that one's going to lose?
Yeah.
No. I mean, but can I put it into, you know, my ideas about predicting this fight? Yeah, I should definitely put that in there and see how it weighs up with other stuff. And isn't it just a great stuff to have in some conversation with other people who enjoy this sport? And
Yeah,
go,
for sure.
And go, okay, but what about this? Do you think this will play out? Because one of the beauties of being interested in anything is the detail. I mean, that's why you love what you do. It's because you love the detail. Yeah, you love the big picture as well, but you also want to get into the detail. And there's a great piece of detail for you there.
Awesome. Prince, we're going to go for one more before we ask one more question. But what's the last fight pose we want to do? Prince, you want to
all right,
let
me act it out. So Mark,
Lay it
square
on
up.
me.
Mark, square up.
Okay, here I come.
Right, here we go. We're looking at the camera.
Oh, okay.
Well, well, first of all, Mark, what do you think about the acting skills? Like, I'm really working on
very good
everything.
acting skills because it's clear. Okay, acting is only about being clear. Okay,
that's it.
We call that eye aversion. We often call we call it eye aversion, or we might call it eye blocking. Sometimes an eye block is literally a whole blink. Sometimes it's a full eye aversion that you did there. You bowed down your whole head at the same time. Okay. Yeah. So there are, the thing is no one signal often means just one thing. We're looking for clusters of information. Okay. So what do I take from this cluster? Often in societies, we avert our eyes from the thing with the highest status, though also we do look at things of high value. Our eyes go to things of high value. And then we often have some social priming that says, yeah, I'm not quite good enough to look at that. Okay. So I'm wondering, okay, when Prince faced off with me there, does his instinct feel that I have higher value, I have higher status, I have more power? So I might put that in there. Okay, his head goes down. This is now protecting his carotid arteries and windpipe. Okay. Also now his chin isn't prone, and you'll well know these are kill points on the body.
Yep.
You know, and you'll well know if you can hit me right here, my brain shakes around and I fall over.
There you go.
So ultimately I've tucked this in. We often call this turtling.
Yep.
Okay. And maybe turtling, and I've protected this area here. Okay, and I've averted my eyes, so you have the high status. And then your eyes, Prince, kind of darted to the side.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's what I'd be looking at in that face-off. I'd be going, is there a window or a door or an exit over there? Did he look to a window or a door or some kind of exit, even some kind of gap in the crowd? Because again, the unconscious mind, when under stress and pressure, will often start checking out the exits. You'll see it constantly if you watch police videos where they've just arrested somebody, okay, and they've got them over the bonnet and they're cuffing them up. I want you to notice the moment where the head pops up and you see the eyes dart around or the head move, and you can easily go, "Oh, the guy's going to do a runner. He's going to try and run for it."
That's it.
It's like, and 100%, it's like, well, there he goes. Now, often they don't get very far because the officer suppresses them immediately. Okay, but I'm just seeing, that little dart across of Prince's eyes. I go, okay, is he looking for an exit? Does he see me as having high status? Is he protecting this area? If I saw Prince do that on a face-off, I would not be confident about him. Does that mean he would lose? No, I have no idea. There's too many factors. Okay, there's too many. Now, here's the thing. If I can see what Prince has done in other face-offs, if I can do what's called baseline him, and suddenly, or what did he do in the last fight with this particular person? That would be a great baseline. Did he win or lose? I mean, it's a data point of 1, but it's more than a data point of nothing. Okay. So now I'm going, okay, this is maybe notable behavior for Prince because I've never seen him do this before, and he's just done it now. Now I really want to investigate this. So maybe I want to, go up to Prince and go, hey, Prince, how you feeling today?
Okay, guys, let me just throw this out there. This podcast is a learning opportunity. I just feel like I just got my ass kicked like twice. Like the eyeballed, looking down. Like I don't feel good about myself. I don't know if this is. I just throw this out there.
but you're right, Mark. Because there are those fighters, and we talked about one last week, Donald Cerrone, who's always a guy who smiles. And so, like what you said, you need to baseline it, because if someone naturally does that all the time, odds are that's maybe just their thing.
Okay, so let me just talk a little bit about that, if it's okay, because you're absolutely right. And I was just doing some breakdowns of some classic boxing walk downs.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Nice.
And there was one. It was Prince Nazim. It was Vegas.
Oh, our favorite
with the Thriller thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were trying to get me to predict, what happens in this fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, and there's this moment. So this, the whole organ thing, the whole thing with the thrown off the cloak, punching the things, and the explosions not kind of being mistimed. Then the kind of dancing down the. Dancing is a weird one, because why do men, males usually dance? It's usually to attract females, not before they're about to have a one-to-one battle with somebody. It's not that usual. So here's what's happening. The usual patterns of behavior are being broken, and that's not good. I want you to notice in that walk down, when the crowd go wild is when he does his usual somersault. And suddenly the crowd goes, that's the fighter we're after. Okay. Yeah. But by then, I think it's too late. He's already broken his baseline patterning. He's already done himself. Now, of course, Vegas had said, hey, we got to create a show here. Prince, you got a contract. It's going to be fine. You're going to do that. At some point, I would go, no. I'm not going to lose by breaking my usual pattern.
It's interesting.
His competitor, can't remember his name, but you guys will know it. Interesting enough, he's wearing a silver gown, okay, a reflective gown. He's literally, all this stuff that's going on, he's literally reflecting it off him. He's going, I'm just shining that back. It's interesting that in mythology, when there's the undead around, you put up mirrors in order to ward off the undead. Yep. He's basically wearing a big mirror and going, I'm taking zero part in this. So what he does is not to break his usual pattern. He goes, I'm taking no part in this dance. That's and you know the outcome. I learned the outcome afterwards.
No,
anyway, what I'd say to people is, wherever you are in this sport at the moment, and whether you just, you love to observe and love to be part of it that way, or you're involved in it as an athlete, think about what you've done before when you've had some kind of success for yourself. You've been proud of what you've done. Think to yourself, what did I do before that fight? What did I do on my walk-up? What did I do in that face-off? Think about what you think you did well and had an effect, and keep on doing that, and do it again and again and again, and try and build what we might call a ritual around this that signals to you and your opponent and your audience, that signals that you are on the road to success.
That's right. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mark.
My pleasure.
I mean, these kind of insights are incredible. Do you have time for one last question? Do you mind? Is that okay? we are a brand new podcast.
Yeah.
This is episode 5. And so it's only going downhill after here, Mark, but I'm not going to lie. But, we're a new podcast. We're trying to get viewers, trying to engage our audience. You talk in one of your speeches about people and their natural reaction to be indifferent, right? So they flip on our podcast, they find it, they see us on Instagram, they see us on YouTube. They see us, their natural reaction, you're saying, from the neocortex,
Sure.
right, is to be indifferent. How can Prince and I, change that, make them feel like we are a friend, something of value for them to watch? If you can give us a tip.
What you're doing at the moment, which is great. Let me just kind of break down what's happening at the moment, which I think you should continue with. What I like about Prince, like these big headphones, which and big in the frame, which means he's super present, like he's taking up lots of the frame, and he's right into us, like he's right in there. I love that map of the world at the back as well.
Oh, thank you.
That kind of gives me that sense of that kind of gives me the sense of, okay, I'm right in your face right now, but I got a big view. Like I can pull back and I can take a big view of that. The guitar in the background as well. It's maybe not what we expect from the fight scene. So there's a melodic side to it as well. So that's great. And then we come to you, Tim, and we've now got some opposites around that. We've got somebody a little bit smaller in the frame, a little bit more back in the frame, the nice kind of the suit, the jacket, okay, So it's like, okay, and how about this? The signage up there as well. The comic book icon kind of in the background there. So there's something there about I'm into the detail of this. I'm into the insights that are happening around this. I'm going to look at this kind of thing carefully. The big glasses. I'm going to look at this really, really carefully. And so what there is a nice kind of differences in information there. So there's plenty of good stuff for us to look at and a clear signal for us. The worst thing you can ever do is I don't understand it. I go, what's Prince? What is he wearing? Like, what is it? Are those headphones or not headphones? Are those small headphones that he's got? It's like, no, they're big. Like it's big. Like it's clear what's going on. For both of you, it's super clear what's going on. The only thing I would add to this, which is what you're doing, is once people have got past that visual element, okay, they are absolutely interested in the content. And all you can ever do, I think, and I speak from experience of, there's my up there somewhere, YouTube Awards. So that's 100,000 viewers on YouTube.
Nice.
In fact, we broke, I think, about 203,000 yesterday or something like that.
Congratulations.
We're looking by the end of the year or so probably to hit the million mark. Here's the biggest thing. People only want help. They only want help in what they want to know more about, help connecting with the people they want to connect with, help in getting better. And people are fascinated by people who give these little insights of extra help. And I think, it's clear to me that's what you're trying to do here is go, hey, have a look at this scene from this point of view, get a little bit of help from that. I think if you carry on doing that in the way that you're doing it, I will soon become the smallest celebrity that you.
I don't know.
On the show.
Hey, but you know what, Mark? You know what? I just wanted to. I know you got to go. But I want you to. Look at this. I want you to look at Tim's genuine reaction. Okay, because I've got a little surprise for him. Tim. Okay, Mark. Watch Tim.
I'm looking.
Oh my. Is that real? Turn around. Mark, I've known him for like 5-6 years. He's long ponytail, big hair, long ponytail.
Mark, I've been growing my hair for 7 years. Just a little story on my end. So I never told Tim I was going to get a haircut. And since we were going to have this podcast, I'm like, hey, body language expert,
Now's the time.
Now's the time. Tim, the reaction. What do you think, Mark? How was the reaction?
Okay, what you're going to see there, what you're going to see is the universal signal of surprise. Okay, you'll see his eyes open wide, yeah, and the mouth drop. Okay. Now, what I want people to notice is how different that is from fear, because people often get surprise and fear mixed up. The big difference with fear is in fear, the eyes don't open so wide as in surprise. Surprise, they open really wide. But with fear, you never want the eyes super wide because the whites would reflect light and the predator will see you. So in fear, the mouth drops just a little bit, the eyes open just a little bit wider, just enough so somebody who knows you really well could look at you and go, something scared them. There's clearly a predator around here. I need to get really silent. But surprise is usually like, okay, that's kind of good. It's not a threat. It's just kind of weird or different. So check that out, audience. Go back, play that again.
Yeah, rewind that.
Okay, and notice what surprise looks like.
That's crazy. Well, Mark, I mean, I cannot believe you came on this podcast. I don't know if you researched to see how small we are, but I appreciate this so much. Like, I don't know if you know, but I do engage with you on LinkedIn quite a bit. I follow your stuff all the time. I share it. I think that it is so important for people, especially in today's age, to learn how to communicate over video. We're, many of us are working from home, and this is the only kind of human interaction we get. So again, I want to thank you so much for coming on, for sharing this with us. It was incredibly insightful and helpful to us. Before you go, and before Prince, you can say, go ahead.
And also, Mark, I want to say thank you for kicking my butt 2 times in a row. And I appreciate all the knowledge that you've shared with us. And, this is actually the unveiling of my new hairstyle. So all my fans are going to be like, wow, it's all over. The dream is over. I cried and wept when this thing happened. Mark, I'm telling you, when it came off, it was just like, why?
Yeah. But Mark, it's real pain I saw there.
That's it, right?
Before
thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And you're very welcome to invite me anytime. I will come back and chat with you guys anytime you like.
Thank you so much, Mark. And like I said, we'll put your links up on the bottom in the YouTube for people to find you as well. Thank you so much, Mark, and have a wonderful night.
Good to see you all.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye
now. Prince, that was crazy.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. I can't even believe.
Eyes on you. Everything that I see.
Are we just off now?
No, we're just
that was crazy. Prince, that was crazy. How cool was that?
That was,
man.
Wow. Like, I feel like
really
we just won the championship. I feel like we were down 2 points and we scored another 500. I felt like it. Dame time. It's Prince time, baby. Timmy B. Yo, it's Timmy B. Yeah, it's Princey D. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, that's right.
When we were making this podcast, though, I do want to say that I put out the ad for I wanted a co-host with a nice ponytail.
Tim,
I don't know what happens now, but no, Prince. First of all, the haircut. Holy cow! What was the reason behind this? You never told me. So what was the reason?
So, guys, anyone who's suffering from male baldness, that's what happened. I was suffering from male baldness. None of my friends would tell me and let me know that I'm actually,
But it doesn't look bad.
Tim, I had like 2 or 3 strands of hair left, man. No one was saying anything. Everyone was like, "Oh, Prince, it looks good." No, it's bad. It's the bad. And now look. I look like I work in the IT department, man.
Well, that's all right. At least thanks to Mark Bowden, we know the different types of poses and postures that you may want to avoid to maintain your rough and tough image and, persona.
You know what? When I square off with someone now, Tim, I'm just going to do this. Just like, you know what? I should have just asked Mark that threw a curveball at him. So no eye contact, just
hands over the face.
Just hand over the face, and you're just like this. Like, what are you gonna do? So how do you interpret that?
Yeah. And for those listening on Spotify or Apple, iTunes, whatever, this is one to watch on YouTube for sure. So we didn't give out the links to our stuff before, but obviously we are Fight Insight on Instagram, Fight Insight Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and our email is fightinsightpod@gmail.com. But please do follow, like, and subscribe on our YouTube. Please do subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when a new video is coming up.
Yes, that's it. So, oh man, Tim, I don't know, man. Wow.
I'm super pumped from that interview, and then I feel he brings so much energy, right? That's the thing. When you watch him and you realize, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of energy this guy brings in these videos, and that's what I had hoped that he would be like that on our podcast. And I mean, for him to do that with us is so cool. Again, thank you so much, Mark. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this guy, and after this, I hope that you guys are too, because
you
good
know
stuff.
What? I'll tell you right now, Tim. Like the sound of that man's voice, and you know, you could definitely hear his accent, and literally, I felt like it felt like the negotiator. Like I felt like I was about to, go at him with like a shank. I was about to go at him with a shank. I'm like this, and then he's like, put it down, Prince. And literally, I put it down and started weeping. This just very like cool guy, very laid back. But I think that was such a great interview. And Mark, thank you. You know what? Thank you so much for coming out and sharing your input. Right? So
amazing. I mean, okay, and he went, and actually he did go a lot longer than I thought too. So I was concerned that we wouldn't get to all the questions, but we got to the stuff that we really wanted to. So I'm really thankful for that. That said, we're going to lose a bit of our time for us to talk about some of the things we wanted. So do you mind if I hit you with a different question, something that you weren't prepared for maybe?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, you don't think we're going to get charged extra for going over the 20 minutes, you think?
No, I think it was a $1 million flat fee. Okay. So that's fine. Don't worry. We'll make it up in sponsorship soon.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. So, well, I don't know. No, let's talk about what we wanted to talk about, Prince. It's hot topic now because of last weekend. Of course, when you guys are hearing this, it might be 2 weeks ago. But it was the no love for the glove.
No love for the glove. Yep. So
that's what I'm calling it. And this is, of course, regarding the issue of MMA gloves.
Yep. And so you know what? The biggest issue now is that with the glove and people squaring up in the ring, people getting caught in the eye with a
so we saw
finger,
right? So we saw, and just because we're talking post Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, right? Had a terrible eye poke. Okay, it was a terrible eye poke, but I've got my feelings about it. I know you've got yours. It brings to light the question: should they be changing the gloves? And so the picture that we showed on screen was where that glove has kind of like the rounded part that kind of disables you from being able to extend your fingers straight forward.
Yep.
So what do you think? Should we be changing the gloves in MMA?
You know what? I think with everything going on and with all these injuries, I mean, you don't want to get caught and like with a stoppage, just because someone poked you in the eye, right? I mean, you want to continue on, but I mean, you want to try to avoid that type of injury, and so I think they should definitely switch it up and find a different model for it, right? And what do you think, Tim?
Yeah.
What do you think should happen? Like, what do you think would be?
It's hard, man. I mean, in watching that Leon Edwards fight. The other thing is that picture that we all see where the eyeball is getting, or not the eyeball, but I don't even know what you call this under eye part, but it's like his finger is in there and pulling it out. I mean, I don't know what the heck happens, but it's not like Leon Edwards was poking him this way, right? I don't know what happened. He threw the punch and then somehow his finger got in there. He was throwing the punch followed by the rear kick. His finger is down. So, I mean, I don't know whether he was punching like this and the finger somehow caught it. I don't know. It's hard. If you're going to change the gloves, if UFC is going to change the gloves, I would say that it has to be joined by every other MMA organization, right? Like ONEFC has to change it. Bellator has to change it. Rizin has to change it. Little house shows all over the world, right? Invicta has to change it, right? I mean, everybody has to change it. And I think you can't, I just don't like how people are going, oh, UFC is not changing it. Oh, Dana's not changing it. Look, every organization is using those gloves. I haven't seen, Okay, I'm gonna lie. I have seen, I think, in some videos where you do see people using the slightly rounded ones, but it's not common. So to call upon UFC to say you must change it, yes, maybe as the leader, maybe you should, but the eye pokes don't happen all the time. It is a mistake. Even the rounded ones, and Prince, you and I talked about this in doing our prep. The thumb is still there.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen where people are blocking and they end up poking with the thumb? So I don't know. I'm gonna say no to changing it right now. I think perhaps the rules need to be enforced a little bit stronger. I think you don't give an accident warning. I think the minute you poke an eye, that's a point deduction. I think you enforce the rules, make the rules and the penalties stronger, and I feel that you will see less eye pokes. I think if people are worried that, hey, if I even poke this guy accidentally, I'm getting a point deducted, I feel like that's going to solve the problem.
Well, listen, you know what, Tim? You hear a lot of people making all these suggestions, doing this, they should change that, do this, do that. But no one's actually made actual recommendations.
Yeah.
No one's actually made a solution. So, you know what? Being one of the first people to say that we should change the glove, I have come with a recommendation.
You being the first.
The first. Look at this.
Prince being the first.
So what you see right here is a regular tap out glove, a regular MMA glove, right?
Yeah, and
hold
on. So Prince, also for those that are watching this podcast and that are under the age of 40, Tap Out is a brand that used to be quite popular in MMA. Okay, got it. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see here, it's a typical MMA glove that you normally use. Now you use the patent and Prince, and I call this product, I call it the dub. You take the dub like so.
Yeah.
You wrap it around the glove like so. Okay. Preheat the oven to 30 degrees. Okay.
Yeah.
And you push it patience, everyone. Push it all the way back. And what you have right there is called the dub.
Okay.
And why do I call it the dub?
Because you will never get a dub?
No, because if you wear this glove, you get the dub.
So for those on Spotify and iTunes, he has seemingly put a women's sock all the way up his arm.
What are you talking about, Tim? This is a men's sock, and it's
okay.
It's Under Armour, and sock is right there. It goes all the way down.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, there's no ability to grasp. No jujitsu will be taking place.
But you know what I say when you put this on.
But you're right. You're right. You're right. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would have to fight you in a demo. I mean, if we weren't in the middle of a quarantine, we could literally spar and see what would happen, like in terms of grappling. If I had essentially a mitt, right, almost like a mitten, over to stop the fingers from being separated, I guess, right?
Yep, there you go. And
I mean, do you feel good? You feel like you could fight like that?
I feel like I'd knock you out first 10 seconds into the round.
Yeah.
If I had this
I'd take that bet, but yeah. No, I like it. Hey, man, you're right. It just takes someone with some sort of thought. Like Mark said, a couple of people with one bad idea is better than one person with a great idea. I feel like he was talking to us on that, but that's okay. Aside from that, okay. Well, we'll see what happens. But I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say that the gloves are not going to change anytime soon. I don't know what the history is on this, but I doubt it. Anyways, Prince, I did want to say our last podcast we unveiled our new logo, which is kind of in the background. You can see it around us here. We got a lot of love for it. So thank you to all those people that were messaging us. I was getting messages, Prince, within an hour on Tuesday morning, around 9-10 a.m. I already had people messaging me saying how much they loved the logo. And by that time, and even still now, we haven't put it anywhere. So the only way you saw it was by going on YouTube. So thank you so much to all of those people that have been supporting us, and also for all the love on the logo. I think it's awesome. Prince, you did a good job on this.
Thank you, man. I put a lot of hard work. Shout out again to Diva Studios for creating the logo. She put a lot of hard work, and I mean, it was hours and hours of going back to the drawing board, and we got something that's really good. So thank you so much, Diva Studios. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fight on site time.
Fight on site time. Here we go. Let's do
on
this.
site. All right. So fight on site, guys. This week. Oh, okay. Update on the score here. I'm not even going to tell you what the results were, but the results are in on the Mortal Kombat fight on site. I got slaughtered, Prince. That was a real bad beating. Sub-Zero destroyed Smoke.
That's it.
So you are 2-0 up.
2-up. Listen, I am in I'm in a kill streak right now. Like I think the next one that we
this one is mine. This one is mine.
No, but that's what I'm saying. People might actually just vote for this one just because they feel so bad. They're like, man, it's not right. It's like that's not fair. It should just be. It's you know what? People might even just call it Prince's fight on site. Prince's beating of the Tim on site pod.
This one. I want to get this podcast over because I want to go tell all my friends and family about this interview that we just had with Mark Bowden. I'm so pumped about this. Okay. This fight on site.
You're welcome, Tim. You're welcome.
I got to go. This fight on site, but bam, karate edition.
Karate.
You knew we were doing this, right?
Oh,
your reaction was pretty poor, but okay.
No, it's karate. No, I'm just saying. Whoa, yeah. We're about to get
it.
We're about to get into this bad boy. Who went first last time? You know what? Tim,
go.
I just feel, you know what? I feel bad because I'm in a winning streak right now. I'm like 3-0 now, and so I think it's only right for the losers to go first. I think it only be appropriate. What do you think?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, well, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well. Karate edition. So the rules of this one for Prince and I, we said you have to pick a person whose main style is karate, right? And for my pick, I mean, this could have been my pick for many different fight on sites, but I'm going to use it here. The karate hottie, Michelle Watterson.
Yes. Okay.
I'm going with Michelle Watterson for this one. I think, obviously it's in the name, karate. Man, she has been one of my favorite fighters for a long time. It's funny because Mark Bowden talked about like the smiling and stuff like that and how perhaps that might have been a bit of a sign of nerves, but she is. And then he also talked about baselining. This is her all the time, right? Like that's just her. She's that smiley, happy person. Everybody knows who she is. Former Invicta strawweight champ, atomweight champ, comes over to UFC, has to end up going up a weight class. People don't realize that. She is really an atomweight, but she moves up to fight at strawweight. So black belt, hold on, I got my notes here somewhere because I'm a professional. Black belt in freestyle, USA freestyle karate black belt. She trains in wushu, muay thai, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, boxing, and wrestling. For those that don't know, her name actually came from when she was doing a Hooters calendar shoot.
Oh, really?
And I looked, or I've heard this story before, but she was in a calendar shoot, and the person said like, "Hey, we need a nickname for you," kind of thing. And because they knew that she did karate, they called her the Karate Hottie, and the name stuck forever. Also, I did not know this, but when I looked it up, she actually began in MMA. She was a ring girl, and Donald Cerrone somehow got to know her and got her to go fight. And she did her first professional fight before having any amateur fights, apparently. So anyways, she has always been a fan favorite, man. She is very well-spoken, a good ambassador of the sport. If you follow her on Instagram, her and her daughter are the cutest thing ever. Her husband he was an I want to say he was like an Olympic or a semi-pro boxer who gave up his career to support hers. And he's always her coach. You see them in the videos together as a family. They're just a great, inspiring family. And her moves to victory on this one, it's going to be her head and arm throw. She always gets people in that when she fights. She does that head and arm throw, tosses them over, always ends up landing in side position. So that's a good move. Obviously, you got to go with her axe kicks, and then you'd have to also go with her side thrust kicks that she always throws, which keep her opponent at distance. I really do like her fight style. I do hope she ends up achieving her gold strap at some point. She is currently 18-8. Her last fight was with Angela Hill and it was a victory. So, and Angela Hill is streaking. So with that win over Angela Hill, that does put her in a good spot. I think she's ranked number 8 right now. That is my fighter. Prince, who do you got?
All right. So who do I have? Karate edition. So I've got Blam, Wonder Boy. Yes, Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson. He's an American professional mixed martial artist. Currently fighting at the welterweight division for UFC. He's full contact kickboxer, undefeated in 37 amateur fights, 20 professional kickboxing matches. This guy is a beast. You've seen him, you saw him fight against Johnny Hendricks, and he just it was a clinic, right? You just showed the skills, and you just showed the arsenal that he has. And he was one of the few guys that I remember when he popped up into the scene, everyone's like, yo, did you see Wonder Boy? That guy was sick. Like, the kicks that he was throwing, like, the different, like, he was just so fluid. He was just so relaxed. He knew how to pick someone off, and the kicks is, it's your karate kicks, right? You're so used to seeing your typical Muay Thai swing kicks and things like that. But him, you would see him go for headshots, head kicks, spinning back kicks, and all those things, right? So, yeah, my pick is Wonder Boy, and again, for me, actually, he's an amazing. His boxing is amazing as well. So again, for him, I would his jab, straight cross, and you jab, and I would definitely, I would do roundhouse kick. His roundhouse kick would be my third. But you know what, Tim? I know that it's our third or fourth fight on site.
No, this is our fifth. This will be our fifth.
Our fifth fight on site. This is, this is actually the one fight on site that I'm just gonna say that I can't believe you picked Karate Hottie, because she's actually really good. I actually am a big fan of hers, and I thought, you threw a curveball out there. I was like, oh man, no, I was thinking you were gonna throw Machida. I thought you were gonna throw a curveball that way, but Karate Hottie, I think, man, I can't believe you threw that one. Like, I think I'm gonna take an L this time. Like, Karate Hottie's actually
maybe.
She's.
Well, you can feel free to vote for mine when it comes out on Saturday on Instagram. Feel free to vote.
I might have to, you got a really good pick there, and I wasn't expecting that, and especially in karate too, because there's a handful of people that actually perform on it, and like in the actual ring, and actually do it right on the ring live. Like, a lot of people go square up their stereotypical stand up skills and things like that, but with this, in terms of karate, there's only a handful of practitioners, and Karate Hottie is one of those that I actually truly respect, and she's good, man. She's really good. Dang it.
Hold on. That said, you are giving love to my pick, but your guy, and it's funny, again, after having Mark Bowden on, even your guy is a very smiley, happy-go-lucky, friendly character, right? It doesn't show that real aggression, but again, that is how he is. When you watch some of those fight videos where they're going back into their hometown or whatever, I don't know if you've seen, but like, you see Wonder Boy, and they own him and his dad, they own a karate school. And while Wonder Boy is not fighting, he's teaching kids karate, and he's driving this bus around town, picking kids up to take them to karate school, and then drives the bus and drives it. Like, this is like a UFC 2-time title challenger, like, so crazy. Just such a nice guy. So both of these fighters, incredible, nice people. But on our Instagram story on Saturday, as always, the vote will be up. So come on over and vote on who you think is the winner of our Fight on Site Karate Edition.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I can't believe you. Should we do the fight? Wait a minute. We forgot the Fight on Site simulator, man. Unbelievable.
Okay, hold on. The Fight on Site Fight Simulator will now predict the Karate Edition winner. For those on Spotify and iTunes, I will be commentating. Take it away, Prince. Oh, hold on. I got to move you into the big screen. Can't forget that either. Hold on. Let me move this. Are you okay with this little red thing? You'll be above that?
We're good to go. Ready?
Go.
My fighter. Whoa!
This is like the worst bootleg Quicksilver X-Men sticker, again on a popsicle stick. But what the hell is that? That is a terrible
It was actually
Quicksilver.
no. Listen, it was just also a big shout out to the WandaVision that just finished, right? And I actually
Yeah, all right.
threw that in there. Whoa!
And
it
who's
kinda-
this? This is
it
you?
kinda- yeah, that's me. That kind of looks like
That's-
Wonder Boy too.
Yeah, it does actually. Short hair. Yeah, chiseled
And
jaw, handsome.
that's it. That's it. And you know what? And you know, to represent your fighter.
Karate hottie. Come on, baby. Someone good. Okay, could have gone any female superhero, but we're going with Iron Man.
Iron Man. Well, I didn't know you were gonna pick Karate Hottie.
Oh, okay.
So
Iron Man versus Quicksilver. Karate hottie versus Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay.
It's too bad we didn't keep Mark Bowden on to make the sound effects. I wonder if he's good at sound effects.
Yeah, he would have left.
Did I win?
You know what? Yeah. What?
Oh my god, so generous today. Now,
no. Like, come on, like, guy, man, like,
don't do this out of pity.
No, it's not that. Like, come on, in the Marvel movie,
Yeah.
Who saved the world?
Yeah, Iron Man.
Right. So
what are these things stuck on today? Reusable straws?
Yeah, reusable straws, just to make
very
eco-friendly, guys. So eco-friendly. So making sure that we're using.
Shout out to eco-friendly straws.
Dollar store as well. So just let you guys know they're in dollar store. So
yeah, we're not making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Prince. Oh, one more thing, Prince. We have to do. I don't even think you know this. While our podcast was going, I went out to the masses to ask, what song will Prince sing to sing us out of our episode? And we had several votes.
Oh my gosh.
I've got okay, some of these are pretty good, Prince, but I know which one I'm picking. So there's several, there's many actually, but there is "The Boy Is Mine" by Brandy and Monica.
Okay, Boy Is Mine, Brandy. Okay.
Waterfalls by TLC.
Waterfall.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
But I'll let you pick between these top three that I like. And if I haven't said yours, I apologize. "The Boy Is Mine," Waterfalls, or and this is from our buddy Curtis. Shout out to Curtis on the West Coast.
DC.
"No Diggity."
People actually voted out, and that's what they wanted.
No, there's more too. There's more, but I'm just saying those last three.
Where's the top three?
Yeah, these. I was looking at them, and I kind of went down to these three being the top three.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess this is.
So
Tim, I'm so shy though. Like.
Yeah, I know you are. Before we go, Prince, anything that you wanted to add before you sing us out?
Okay, so again, guys, you can follow us at Instagram at Fight Insight Podcast. You can follow us at Spotify. You can follow us at YouTube, especially YouTube, because this is going to be a really epic video that's going to come out. And you can, if you want to be on the show and you want to come out and be a guest, and you know what, again, also Canadian fighters out there. So Canadian fighters, anyone that's trying to make a name for themselves and you want to be a part of this podcast, we want to promote the fighters and the talent that we have up here, up the north, because we've got killers up here. We've got fighters up here. We've got people that are really putting in their work and just not getting the recognition. We want you guys to be up in here and, representing your gym and also yourself. Right. So we want to, and also we're going to be supporting local. So next podcast, we'll be doing some giveaways, supporting some local businesses as well. So definitely, but yes, again, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and if you want to
everywhere,
right? So fightinsightpod@gmail.com. Okay.
That is correct. Prince, thank you so much. I had a wonderful time with you today. This was amazing. Again, Mark Bowden, thank you so much. Prince, sing us on out, and we will see you guys next week.
Go chasing waterfall. Please take me in the rivers and the used to. Wanna know I can get in that or then you're moving too fast. Jason